What's up, guys? I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. So, 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 8 of this season. And first of all, last night, there was no Cara and Guillermo. So they gave us this craziness last week with Chris and his rap career and his advice, and then they disappear for a week and just let us marinate on that. So we will be checking back in with them next week because I know there's more drama. Let's talk about Bilal and Shida. I want to start with them this week because we saw something that happened that's a recurring thing when it comes to Muslim culture, right? So Shida decided that she didn't want to go to the Juma service. And where she's from, women aren't necessarily required to go every Friday. It's not a requirement. Men are. Men are required to go there every Friday afternoon and pray and participate in the service. And Bilal made a statement that really bothered me. He said, "I'm not going to force you to," as though that was an option. I don't like it when people say things like that because they're like, well, I'm going to let this slide and I'm not going to force you. When was forcing her ever an option in this situation?
Forcing Shida to do anything is absolutely what Bilal does, right? So when he says, "I'm not going to force you," what he really means is, I'm choosing this time to do something different than what I normally do, because he likes to use the fact that he has leverage. He brought her to this country. She's living in his home. She's unable to work at this time. So he uses that as leverage to get his way. And I love that she just didn't roll over and play dead for him. I'm not going, full stop. Full stop. I'm not going. She has the right to not go to the Juma service if she wants to. I don't think that going to Juma should be a condition of her being in relationship with him. I mean, even still, he was getting so upset about her, the pins that she wears in her hijab being kind of like in the couch cushion.
Yeah.
And while that may not be ideal, it wasn't like a leather sofa, right, that she was sticking the pins in. It was a fabric sofa. The damage to the sofa is minimal. But she's like, you have a hijabi wife. You have a wife that wears a hijab. And that's a part of this that I wish that Bilal would stop being so phony about. Bilal has said so many times that his religion is the most important thing to him. So here he is. He has a Muslim wife that wears a hijab in the same tradition that his ex-wife did, and his mom does, and his sister does. And she is a good woman of the faith. You do not have to put additional requirements on her to go to Juma every Friday just for her to prove that she's good enough to be with you. That's ridiculous.
I think it's also interesting that he says he wants a wife and he's been single for so long and he wants this companionship, but the idea of another human being in his house is literally driving him insane. Everything that she does, water droplets, any part of the house that she's in, he can find something wrong with that room. And it's like, do you want a wife? Do you want a companion? Are you able to handle another human being in your house? And I don't think that he does. All right, so let's talk about Jabari and Miona, right? So they're leaving Rapid City to go to Chicago. And we find out last night that Jabari has worked before, because everyone was speculating online, like, did he do anything other than his band? He used to drive trucks with his bandmate, David, who owns a trucking company, very successful trucking company from what we saw. It was a lot full of trucks. And he offers Jabari a job, which seems to offend him, which I thought was interesting. He's like, well, why would I want to drive trucks? I can make so much more money creatively. Yes, but you need to get married within 90 days, and you have promised a beach wedding to Miona. And in the same statement, he said, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. And David offers him a job, paying him good money, and he turns it down. Where's the logic here?
I mean, I don't understand. How else can David be a good friend? How else? He has given you, worked with you with the band and introduced you to Serbian culture and to Serbia. And he's offering you a job because he has an opportunity to do it. And I don't think people really appreciate how hard it is to find a well-paying job in America. You can find a job in America, but the jobs that pay living wages, because the cost of living here is expensive, are few and far between. So if he offered him a job, I don't understand, and you have the licensing that you need to do it, the credentials to do it, what is the problem to give Miona the wedding that she wants? And I'm so over this idea that beach weddings are expensive. Beach weddings are not expensive, okay? You can easily get yourself a nice dress down at the David's Bridal. I wore a David's Bridal dress when I got married. It was not expensive. You guys do not have to spend a lot of money. Go down to the David's Bridal, pick yourself out an elegant, affordable down, get the pastor or the officiant or whoever, go down to the beach with a bouquet, and you can get married. I don't get it. But either way, they seem to think that there's only one way to do something in this world, and that's to spend a lot of money. But if money is what you need, why not take the job with David?
I don't understand it. It's an easy way to make the money that he needs. He's living, and David's like, you're living with your mom. I'm worried about you. I want to make sure you're okay. And I felt like that was a genuine thing. And they took it as, how dare you offer a job to us, as though it was something offensive. And we also learned that they've had a kind of violent past, which kind of got my attention, because he said David put him in a coma back when they were in high school.
As he should have, because if what we saw last night is any indication of what happened previously, where Jabari admits that he was taunting and teasing David, he admitted that, right? Mm-hmm. And then last night we see him put his hands on David first. So yeah, I hope David washes you and hangs you out to dry. Wash and repeat, because you deserve it. You don't put your hands on people that way. So clearly, if you know David can fight and he's landed your behind into a coma previously for 3 days, you think you would learn to keep your hands to yourself. But being that you don't want to learn, here we go.
Right. Well, we're going to see the aftermath of that fight. It looks like they tried to break it up. I don't know how long it went on. I'm interested to see. All right. So I want to talk about Eve and Muhammad, right? So after the date that she took Muhammad on with her friends, that was really out of pocket. You know, even by American standards, it was out of pocket. Like, it was, especially for him and his culture, women don't speak that way, especially not to men. So after that, she decides that she wants to go out with her friend Tatiana, right? And Tatiana is a normal American woman who wants Eve to have a normal American husband. And the issue is Muhammad wants Eve to convert to his religion, which anyone who marries a Muslim, this is typically a part of it. They're going to want you to convert to their religion. I mean, it happens in other religions as well, but a lot of Muslim men don't feel comfortable marrying a non-Muslim woman, and if they do, they want converting to be in the near future. And Eve has not taken on the religion well. You know, she doesn't like the way she feels in a hijab. She doesn't like the way that it's segregated. She doesn't like the way that she's not allowed to go out with her friends. She doesn't like the way she isn't allowed to have drinks. And this all could have been simple and easily taken care of by research and communication. Well, actually, Muhammad says that they've had these conversations. Eve denies that they've had these conversations. So we don't know if Muhammad made this extremely transparent to Eve or not, but she's making it appear that this is all new information to her.
Listen, you know me, I'm here for the unpopular opinion. I am team Muhammad, because in my estimation, Muhammad has really truly been consistent throughout everything. Okay, I love this man because when he talks, even when he's upset, even when he doesn't like what's going on, he is just cool. He doesn't really yell. He doesn't raise his voice. He maintains his composure at all costs, even though he's speaking his heart and what is really on his mind and what's troubling him. I don't know what it is with these Americans really not understanding what people say when they talk about their religion and when they talk about their faith and when they talk about what their expectations are. And even if he didn't say it to you, which I believe he did, Eve, one trip to Google, okay, would have got understand how not just a Muslim man, but a Muslim man from Egypt, what their culture is like. To sit here and have disdain for everything that's inherent to their religious beliefs is beyond me. Now we could sit here and we can call Muhammad a hypocrite because she was wearing a bikini in the photo that he first saw of her. But when he saw her at that time, she wasn't his wife. She was just somebody on the internet who was appealing. What he would be looking for in a wife and possibly a mother of a child would be someone who's going to adhere to his faith. And I think he's been clear about that. I think a lot of these Americans are delusional when it comes to understanding other cultures and what comes with that. I don't think now's the time to dig your heels in the sand. But to Muhammad's point, he feels like Eve has wasted his time. And I think so too.
Well, yeah, he's here and he's under the impression that they're going to be married. And he said that he made it clear to her, I can't marry a non-Muslim woman. So you're right. It does appear that she brought him here to waste his time. All right, guys, that's it for part one. We're going to come back to part two and talk about Emily and Kobe, which was a pretty explosive thing last night. It's been trending for hours, even into today. And I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana, Dahlia. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you all really soon.